Hi everybody, this is lecture for today, uh, lecture 1 for week 3. Today we will start a new topic. It is topic 2, strategic management accounting. Okay, so the main thing that you will learn in this topic is about the target costing. And then you will see about how to apply the theory of constraint, and also you will see things related to life cycle costing and a bit of things related to strategic pricing. Okay, so this is like the introduction. The product life cycle. Management methods to be discussed in this topic are target costing, theory of constraints, life cycle costing, and strategic pricing. All involve the entire product life cycle. Managers now need to look at cost upstream before manufacturing and downstream after manufacturing. Okay, the thing is like this. Now, maybe before this, in management accounting courses before this, when you learn about costing, most of the time the focus is on the production process. But now, you have to start to understand that costing, or how to minimize costs or how to manage costs, is related to the entire product life cycle. If you are a management accountant, in the future you have to understand that to control costs or to manage costs, you have to see everything. You have to see the entire product life cycle. You cannot just try to reduce cost at manufacturing process only. You have to see everything, the whole cycle of product life. Okay, this is about the cost life cycle. Okay, cost life cycle refers to the following sequence of activities. First, research and development, and then design, manufacturing or providing the service, marketing and or distribution, and customer service. It is the life cycle of a product or service from the viewpoint of cost incurred. So cost life cycle is the thing that a management accountant has to see when the management accountant trying to help manager to control costs or to manage costs. So you have to see starting from the research and development, and then to see the design process, and the cost of research and development, the cost of design, the cost of manufacturing, marketing, and customer service. The management accountant has to see all these steps in the cycle of the cost. Like I said earlier, now you have to understand that cost cannot be managed if you focus on manufacturing only. If you want to manage costs or to control costs, a management accountant has to see all the cycle of the cost, life cycle of the cost. Okay, this is still about the cost life cycle. If we want to manage or control costs, we have to see the whole thing, the whole steps in the cycle. Here you can see R&D, design, manufacturing, marketing and distribution, and customer service. Before the manufacturing stage, we call the steps as upstream activities. After the manufacturing stage, we call the steps as downstream activities. And one more thing is, see here at the bottom of the figure here, design decisions account for much of total life cycle cost. So the thing is like this. Let's say a business has a product. The cost of that product, most of the time, is determined at the design stage. If the design is like this, then the total cost will be like this. If the design is simple, I think, let's say the design is simple, then the cost is low or cheap. But if the design is complex, then the cost will be high. Why design decision determine the amount of cost for a product? Because you can imagine that if the product is simple, then the design of the product is simple, then the manufacturing process is simple, the marketing and distribution process is simple, and the customer service is also simple. So the cost is cheap, is low. And the process is also simple. But imagine if a business has a product that is very complex. The design of the product is very complex. So you can imagine that the R&D cost is high, the design cost is also high, manufacturing cost is high, marketing and distribution is also expensive, customer service also expensive. So that's why we can understand from here that the design decision can be said as determine everything in the cost life cycle. Okay. So in the future, if you are working as a management accountant, always remember the design step will determine everything. If the design is simple, then the cost is cheap. If the design is complex, the cost will be high. Okay, and then the next thing that you can see here, I think this is still like the introduction, the sales life cycle. Sales life cycle is the sequence of phases in the product's or service life. In the previous slide, you see cost life cycle. Now here you see the sales life cycle. Okay, let's see the first point there. The sales life cycle is the sequence of phases in the products or services life, and there are 5 steps in the cycle. First, introduction of the product or service to the market, and then second, growth in sales. Number 3, maturity. Number 4, decline. Number 5, withdrawal from the market. So the sales life cycle is like this. It shows the behavior of a product in terms of sales. It shows the how many product can be sold during the life of the product. Okay, you can see here. The thing is like this. When a business introduce a product, a new product, then the life cycle of sales for this product is like this. When the business introduce a new product, then the product will go through the first step, introduction of the product or service to the market. When a business release or produce a new product, then the business has to introduce the product to the market. The business has to let everybody knows about the new product. When the product is at the introduction stage, the number of sales is not high. It is starting to picking up because the product is just introduced to the market. And then after the product has been introduced, the product will go through the second step, which is the growth in sales. So most of the time, after a business introduce a new product, after the introduction, everybody knows about the product. So the sales of the product will start to grow, will start to increase. It will increase and it will arrive at a peak. That peak is called maturity of the sales. So after that peak, it is like the market, the sales cannot go more than that. So after the maturity level or step, the market has enough with the product. Everybody has enjoyed the product, and then the sales for that product will decline. The quantity of sales for the product will decline, and then after the decline step, most of the time the product will exit the market. So that is the sales life cycle of a product most of the time. I think if I can make an example, it is like BMX bicycle in Malaysia. I'm not sure whether you have seen that bicycle or not, because you are very young. In the 1980s, I think, if I can remember, BMX bicycle has been introduced in the Malaysian market. So after it was introduced, everybody, all kids like to have a BMX bicycle. I can remember most of my friends have a BMX bicycle. So I can see that after the introduction, the sales of the BMX bicycle grow very fast. Almost every house has at least one BMX. So the sales goes very fast. And until at one time, I think almost everybody has the BMX bicycle. And after that, so I think when I see that almost every house has a BMX bicycle, I think the market for BMX bicycle in Malaysia has achieved maturity at that time. After that, I have seen the decline in the use of the BMX bicycle. So I can say that less and less people use BMX bicycle. And I think in the middle of 1990s, I cannot see, very difficult to see BMX bicycle in Malaysia as far as I can remember. So if I say BMX bicycle now, maybe most of you do not know what is a BMX bicycle, except if you are very it is like a classic bicycle maybe in Malaysia. I'm not sure in other countries, but I think very difficult to find a BMX bicycle now. Okay, so that's the thing that I can say about the sales life cycle. You can check other items. Maybe you can see, maybe the thing that you can relate is like mobile phone before the smartphone. If you can remember, before the smartphone is used, we have mobile phone. The mobile phone is like big and heavy. It has several functions only. You can make call, you can send SMS, and I think you can listen to music. You can play simple game. So that was the mobile phone before the smartphone. So the thing, I think this, I have seen the phone went through this life cycle. When the mobile phone was introduced in the market, the sales increase very fast, so it is a growing step, the growth step. And after several years, it achieved maturity, and then suddenly it declined and withdraw from the market. Now you can still purchase mobile phone. That is not the smartphone. It is for old people. They cannot understand how to use smartphone, so some of them can still buy or use the old mobile phone. And now everybody is using mobile phone, smartphone. Sorry. So I think so we will see the smartphone will also go through this life cycle until one time everybody has smartphone, and then the market will mature, and then there will be a decline and withdrawal from the market. Who knows what is the next thing after the smartphone. Okay, the sales life cycle. See the last point in this slide. The sales life cycle is the life cycle of a product or service from the view of sales volume achieved. So this life cycle is referring to the sales volume. Like I said earlier, at the introduction stage, the sales volume is low. Growth stage, the volume is starting to increase. Maturity stage, the volume is at the peak of the quantity. So you can see here in the left side of the graph, you can see sales number or sales quantity, and then the x-axis is the time. So you can see at the beginning of the introduction of the product, there will be a small quantity of sales, and then you will see growth step where the sales quantity will increase. Maturity step is the point where the quantity of sales can the quantity of sales at the top point cannot go more than that, and then the quantity will decline, and the product will exit the market. So some products have an accelerated life cycle. Some product, the cycle is very fast. It grow very fast, mature very fast, and exit the market very fast. Some products, it takes long for the product to grow and mature and exit the market. So depends on the product. Okay, this is the I think the first thing that the important thing in this topic, target costing. Okay, target costing is the thing that you have to know in this topic. Target costing is a costing method in which the firm determines the allowable or target cost for a product or service given a competitive market price and a targeted profit. So target profit is like this basically. Let's say you have a business, you want to introduce or release a product. Target costing means you have set the cost for that product before you produce. So let's say you set the cost for your product is $100. So you have to do everything that you can to produce the product at $100 or below. Otherwise you cannot. Otherwise your business cannot compete in the market. So it is like that. Two options for reducing cost to achieve the target cost level. So if you use target costing, you set target cost for your product, then these are the two options for reducing cost to achieve the target cost level. First, by integrating new manufacturing technology using advanced cost management techniques such as ABC, and seeking higher productivity. So you have learned a bit about ABC, I think, in ACT 3131 and also 3132. So you hope you can follow this idea. When you use advanced cost management technique such as ABC, you can reduce cost and or you can manage cost better compared to using traditional costing. The second option is by redesigning the product or service. So you have two options. Okay, how to implement the target costing? So there are 5 steps. If you want to use or implement target costing in a business, you have to follow these 5 steps. The first one, determine the market price. So if let's say the market price is 120, so okay, you know that the market price is 120. So second step, determine the desired profit per unit, profit as a percentage of revenue or cost. Okay, so let's say the market price is 120, and the second step, you have to determine the desired profit. So let's say you want the profit to be $20 per unit. So after you have determined the desired profit, you go to step 3, calculate the target cost as market price less desired profit. So the market price is 120, your desired profit is 20, so the target cost is 100. Number 4, use value engineering to reduce cost. And then number 5, use Kaizen, costing and operational control to further reduce costs. Okay, so there are explanations about each step. See here. Okay, now step 1 and step 2 and step 3 are very clear. Now you see how to use value engineering to reduce costs. Okay, let's see here. This is how to use value engineering to reduce costs. For target costing. Okay, value engineering. Step 4. First point, analyze trade-offs between product functionality or features and total product cost. So most of the time, functionality and features has a negative relationship with the product cost. Negative relationship is like this. The higher the functionality of features, the lower, it has a positive relationship, So the higher the functionality and features, the higher the product cost. The lower the functionality and features, the lower the product cost. So you have to do trade-offs. If you want to reduce cost, you have to accept the fact that if you want to reduce cost for your product, you have to accept the fact that you have to reduce the functionality or features of your product. Okay. Point number 2 here, perform a consumer analysis during the design stage of the new or revised product to identify critical consumer preferences. Okay, this is important if you want to produce a product. Now, I think you have seen the idea in topic 1. Now the focus is on the customer. You have to produce something that customer wants. Not like many years ago, businessmen, they sell things that they want. If they like this thing, they sell that. Many years ago, maybe that is the thing that happened. But now, businesses, they do not sell the thing that they want or they like. They sell something that the customer likes, the consumer likes. If you can sell, if your product is something that customer wants or like, then you can sell more. That's the thing. That's the idea. Okay, still about the value engineering. For firms that can add and delete features easily, functional analysis, that is examining the performance and cost of each major function or feature of the product, can be used. the point related to the functional analysis is benchmarking. It's often used in this step to determine which features give the firm a competitive advantage. Number 2, goal, provide a desired level of performance without exceeding the target cost. Design analysis, still related to value engineering. Design analysis is useful when the firm cannot add and delete features easily. The design team prepares several possible designs of the product, each having similar features with different levels of performance and different costs. Accountants work with the design team to choose one design that best meets customer preferences while not exceeding the target cost. See here the function of accountant. Accountant helps the manager to choose the design that is the best for the business, the design that can be sold, that can be sold to at high quantity. Okay, other cost reduction methods. So there are other cost reduction methods that can be used. For example, cost table, computer-based databases, cost and cost drivers. Firms that manufacture parts or differences from the same design can estimate the difference in cost and material usage for increasing or decreasing size. Group technology, a method of identifying similarities in the parts of products a firm manufactures so the same parts can be used in 2 or more products, thereby reducing costs. The cost reduction method, concurrent engineering, also called simultaneous engineering, is characterized by the engineering or design process taking place throughout the cost life cycle using cross-functional teams. Information is solicited from the use at each phase of the value chain to improve the product design. So this still about how to reduce costs. Okay, this is step 5, referring to step 5 in the target costing implementation steps. Okay, Kaizen step 5. Kaizen means uses continuous improvement and operational control to reduce costs in the manufacturing stage of the product life cycle. So remember this, Kaizen is about continuous improvement, and this method of practice is used during manufacturing process. Many Japanese, I think this practice is introduced by Japanese companies. During the production process, they will try to do continuous improvement so that they can produce good products very efficiently. So very interesting practice. Okay, see here, achieve through streamlining the supply chain, lean manufacturing, improve manufacturing methods and productivity programs, employing new management techniques, used extensively in the period between product redesign. So okay, so you can see here, this is an example of target costing. HPI manufactures a hearing aid HPI 2 that has 30% of the market. So this is a very good product, 30% market share. It has a cost of 650 and sells for 750. A competitor has just introduced a new model that incorporates a computer chip that improves quality. Its cost is $1,200. A consumer analysis indicates that cost-conscious customers will remain loyal to HPI as long as price does not exceed $600. HPI wants to maintain the current rate of profit, $100 per hearing aid. So HPI must reduce the cost to $500 600 price minus 100 profit to meet its profit goal. So see here, now the HPI, its product sells for 750, but the company knew that according to the research that they have done or survey that they have done, customer will stay loyal to that product if the price is 600 or below. So now the business has the market price 600, and then the business also has target profit 100. So sorry, the target profit 100. So what is the target cost? Market price 600, target profit 100, so the target cost is 500. $600 price minus cost 500, then the business can get the $100 profit. So that is how target costing is implemented. And then, so this is the design analysis option. Alternative A, so now the current price of the HPI product is 750. The business has to reduce the cost to 500 only. From 650, decrease the cost to 500 only. So when the business want to decrease the cost to 500 only, so the business has three options: alternative A, alternative B, and alternative C. Alternative A, reduce R&D, replace parts and change inspection procedure, saving $150. Alternative B, replace parts and change inspection procedure, saving $150. Alternative C, increase R&D to develop a computer chip type hearing aid, replace parts, change inspection procedure, and renegotiate new supplier contract, saving $150. So what is the best option? Managers or management chooses alternative C because the increase in R&D will improve the firm's competitive position in the future. Alternative 1 and 2, alternative A and B are focusing on short term, but alternative C is the best option because increase in R&D will improve the firm's competitive position. The second point is the move is strategically important. The new technology may be dominant in the future. Okay, QFD. I think QFD is the like an additional point to the thing that we focusing here. The main focus is on the target costing. Quality function deployment is like something that is used to support the target costing. Okay, these are the potential benefits of target costing. 1, increase customer satisfaction. Design is focused in customer value. B, reduce cost. Number 2, reduce cost. Number 3, helps the firm achieve desired profitability on new and redesigned product. Number 4, decrease total time required for product development through improved coordination of design, manufacturing, and marketing. Number 5, increase communication and cooperation among departments. Number 6, improve overall product quality. I think the good thing about target costing is it forces everybody in the business or in the company to achieve something. Like in the sample question here, HPI has to reduce the cost from 650 to 500 only. So everybody in the cost cycle has to work hard to reduce the cost, to achieve the target cost. That is the best thing. Okay, we stop here for today. In the next lecture, I will continue with other subtopics in this topic 2. Thank you very much. Do not forget to write your name and metric number in the comment section. I will take that as the attendance. And if you have you still have not watched lecture videos in the previous weeks, you have to do that. And after you watch, you write your name and metric number. I will because I saw that not all students watch the videos for previous lectures yet. Thank you very much.